If you're here, then I know that you're a high achiever. You're a person who's built or is in the process of building success, influence, and impact. But let me ask you something. Does it feel enough? Don't worry if it doesn't. Many highly successful people secretly wrestle with this question too. You see, society tells us that if we just work harder, earn more, and achieve more, then happiness will follow. But in my experience of working with very many highly successful people, that's just not how it works. And without happiness, can we ever truly feel successful? You see, happiness isn't a finishing line. It's not something you achieve after success. It's something you need to cultivate first for success to feel the way you imagine it should. So at the heart of true success is something that might surprise you. I'm Janet Mohapi-Banks, and I'm a transformational happiness coach for high achievers and soul seekers who wake up feeling empty despite their outward success. By helping you to rewire your brain for happiness, I help you to go from a state of burnout and dissatisfaction to experiencing true happiness, fulfillment, and freedom so you can embrace your achievements with joy and lead a balanced life rich with personal contentment and purpose. So, here's where we've been getting it wrong. We've been told that resilience leads to happiness, but in reality, happiness builds resilience too. Together, they create a powerful feedback loop that fuels lifelong success, fulfillment, and well-being. Most people think resilience is about sheer grit, the ability to endure stress, push through adversity, and to keep going no matter what. And whilst perseverance is most definitely part of it, true resilience is not just about endurance, it's about recovery. It's about the ability to navigate challenges without losing your sense of self. But here's where we get it wrong. Resilience doesn't necessarily create happiness, but it's happiness that makes you resilient. Think of a tree in a storm, yeah? A rigid tree, no matter how strong, will snap in strong winds. But a deeply rooted, flexible tree will bend and sway with the wind, but it won't break. That's what deeply rooted happiness does. It creates inner stability, so no matter what storms come your way, you remain steady. The happiest people in the world aren't those who avoid challenges. They're not the people who live the most uneventful life. No, the happiest people are the ones who recover quickly because their happiness isn't dependent on external success. Their success comes from within. Their stability and knowledge of who they are come from within. Yeah? Neuroscience and psychology both confirm that happiness and resilience reinforce each other in a continuous feedback loop. But before I tell you about that, I invite you to download my free workbook, The Freedom to Be Happy, so you can get massive insights into all that you are and what really makes you tick. You'll find the link in the description and I'll pin it to the comments too. Okay, let's talk about this happiness and resilience feedback loop and how you can lean into it to create the life you want. Let's start by looking at this through the perspective of happiness builds resilience. Yeah? When you cultivate happiness, your brain is wired to interpret challenges differently. You don't see them as live and die situations. Instead, you see them as temporary and solvable rather than overwhelming. Happy people have lower stress reactivity. What this means is that their nervous system is more regulated and it doesn't spiral into fight and flight or freeze mode as easily. So again, you just feel more emotionally stable and you can respond to things instead of subconsciously reacting to them. And the third point is that studies show that positive emotions broaden perspective, making problem solving easier and increasing adaptability, which are two key components of resilience. Okay. So now let's look at it through the lens of resiliency sustains happiness. When you're resilient, setbacks don't define you. You have a detachment from that situation, so you recover quickly, allowing happiness to remain your baseline. Resilience helps you avoid the downward spiral of stress, fear, and negativity that erodes happiness. This means that happiness isn't fleeting, yeah? Your happiness point is strong enough and set high enough that it becomes a stable internal state. And because of this loop, the more happiness you cultivate, the more resilient you become. And, of course, the more resilient you become, the easier it is to maintain your happiness. That's why people who actively choose happiness aren't just more fulfilled, they're also more successful in the long run. They have the energy, creativity, and clarity to navigate life with ease. And obviously, this is what I help my private clients to achieve. Like I said, there's a free workbook that you can download now to get you started on doing this work. Yeah? The link to the Freedom to Be Happy workbook is in the description and in the comments too. Okay, now that we understand this feedback loop, how do we put it into practice? Well, there are three key areas to focus on. Number one is, of course, beliefs, which are the foundation of both resilience and happiness, because your beliefs shape your reality. If you believe that success must come through struggle, you'll create struggle, even when it's completely unnecessary to. But what if the opposite were actually true? What if happiness enhanced success? Shifting your beliefs about happiness and resilience is really the first step to experiencing both more fully. Instead of seeing happiness as a reward, how would your life change if you saw it as a requirement for sustainable success instead? Okay, number two are the actions that you take to build the happiness resilience loop. Resilience and happiness aren't just mindsets. They're built through daily actions. The happiest and most resilient people prioritize certain actions and create a habit of doing them. These actions can include mindfulness and meditation to regulate stress and create mental clarity, movement and exercise to release tension and increase energy, deep relationships and meaningful connections, which provide emotional support, and of course joyful activities and play, not just productivity. The more you can integrate these habits, the stronger the happiness resilience loop becomes. And as happiness strengthens resilience, resilience sustains happiness. Okay, number three is energy, because everything is energy. So protecting your energy is vital. Happiness and resilience both require energy management. If your energy is constantly drained by stress and overworking, resilience becomes difficult. But when you protect your energy, setbacks feel smaller and recovery happens faster. You can protect your energy by setting boundaries to prevent burnout, by prioritizing rest and recovery as part of a performance strategy. Stop making rest a reward and understand that increased rest produces increased performance. Another way of protecting your energy is by making space for what genuinely brings you joy without guilt. Yeah. Again, stop making joy a reward and realize that it's an important part of your performance and productivity. Yeah. When you manage your energy well, happiness becomes your default and resilience becomes effortless. I know that you've spent years mastering success. Yeah. You've built wealth, influence, and impact, but the real question is, are you happy? Because here's the truth, right? Success without happiness is fragile, but success with happiness is unshakable. Happiness isn't something you earn after years of hard work. It's something that you get to choose right now. And when you do, resilience follows naturally. So as I wrap up this video, I invite you to ask yourself, am I chasing happiness or am I cultivating it? Yeah? Am I forcing resilience or am I naturally resilient because I am deeply happy? And of course, if you want to go deeper, download the Freedom to Be Happy workbook. I promise it'll open your eyes to things that you maybe hadn't realized before. The link to download the free workbook is pinned to the top comment and it's in the description. But regardless of where you think you are in life, you deserve to be happy. And I really want you to remember this, yeah. When you build happiness first, resiliency follows. And when you have both happiness and resilience, life becomes limitless. So make the choice to be happy today by downloading the workbook. And if you choose to get to your happier and more resilient life more quickly, the link to contact me for private coaching is also in the description. I look forward to hearing from you. And if I don't, well, just know that you've got this. And I'll see you next time. Bye.